Hey everyone, and welcome back to another Tesla weekly video for you today. I hope you're all having a wonderful weekend so far. So the big day is fast approaching. On Wednesday, Tesla will report their quarterly figures. Actually, a lot of big companies are reporting their quarterly numbers on that same day, but we're going to live stream the earnings report as always. So right now, as we can see, in the last 3 months, Tesla stock is up over 90%. We're at a market cap of $1.3 trillion. We closed Friday at $406.58. Currently, the average analyst price target sits 21.91% lower than the price we're at today. The expected number are as follows, and these are quarter-over-quarter growth rates. So revenue coming in at $27.14 billion, up 7.7%. EBITDA up close to 4% to $4.85 billion. EBIT $2.66 billion, that's down 2% quarter over quarter. EPS on a GAAP basis 66 cents, that's up 6.57%, and on a non-GAAP basis that's up 6.4% to 77 cents. I also expect a big increase in free cash flow. Of course, the big focus will probably be on guidance for 2025, those new and affordable models, launch dates maybe of that, the impact on the company volumes. So we're still expecting 25-30% growth year over year. They're probably going to discuss all of that in the earnings call. We're going to touch on a couple of questions at the end of this video. We're going to first start with the numbers out of China, out of Europe, and then some things from the United States as well. So if you enjoy all those things, sit back, relax, hit all the buttons, like, subscribe, we really appreciate it. If you want to support me even further, do check out the link down in the description and in the pinned comment with the top 10 best stocks to buy now, or go to fool.com/couchinvestor. Thank you very much. So the weekly insured number was 10,000, which is higher than the previous week, lower than the same week last year. Still, if we look year to date, we're at 23,300. This time last year, we're at 22,300. Now, remember, next week, Chinese New Year is starting. Last year, that started a bit later, so don't be afraid or don't be shocked when you see huge differences in the year-over-year comparisons. And by the way, this sheet is available for channel members. If we look at the split, Model Y compared to Model 3, Model Y still making up just above 80%, even with the launch of the new one being announced. As for sales from select European countries, the select European countries are Norway, UK, Netherlands, Sweden, Denmark, Italy, Spain, Switzerland, Czech Republic, and Iceland. The number came in at 1,000, which is double that of what we've seen last week. Still pretty low. But year-to-date sales are up 19.2%. That's because, the first week was a huge one. If we look at European car sales with BEV share in 2024, so we've got here the overall and then the BEV market, we can see that all in all, Germany is still the number one, but purely looking at BEV, Germany is now number 2 behind the UK. If we look at BEV share in Europe per country, compare that to 22, 23, and 24, of course, we can see the following. Overall, BEV share in Europe fell from 15.7% in 2023 to 15.4% in 2024. Of course, looking at the big markets, so Germany, that's down 27%. If we look at the UK, that was up 18%. And France is up just 1%. The big increases here come from Belgium. You're all very welcome. That's up 46%. Denmark up 42%. And then from the Italian man who went to Malta, that's up 71%. Then if we look at US car sales by brand, comes at no surprise that, number one is still Toyota. Then we've got Ford, Chevy, Honda, Nissan, Hyundai, Kia, Subaru, and then 9th place here is Tesla, and that's actually down 5%. Of course, we've known that already for the past couple of weeks. Staying in North America, in this case Canada, so effective February 1st, all models in Canada will get huge price increases. Model 3 between $4,000 and $9,000 increase depending on the trim. Model Y, $4,000 increase on all trims. Then Model S and X also a $4,000 increase on all trims. So yeah, if you're thinking of buying one, yes, it's true. Currently, this is the old model, but the prices are going to increase. And it's not just that, you're going to be, priced out of the brackets to get the incentive. So the cars basically become even more expensive. And then, of course, we have to talk about the new Model Y long-range all-wheel drive, especially the Launch series, because that one is, of course, costing you $12,000 more because the starting price is $59,990. But you get a lot of extra stuff with it. So you've got FSD, which is an $8,000 value, acceleration boost, another $2,000, tow hitch, another $1,000, included paint color of your choice, that's up to $2,000 in value, included wheels of your choice, also up to $2,000 in value, interior color of your choice, a $1,000 value, mobile charger, $275, exclusive launch series badging on the rear liftgate, puddle light, door steel plate, and more, as well as custom entry animation on screen when you enter the car. So basically you're getting up to $17,000 worth of stuff for $12,000. And to be honest, the more I look at the Model Y, the more I like it. At first, when we got the sneak peek pictures, it looked like crap, I'm not going to lie. But now with the high quality pictures and especially the white color, I don't know why, but the new Model Y in white is much better than the other color. I mean, looks much better than the other colors. So yeah, I guess when you see it in person, it becomes even better, because at first Cybertruck also looked horrible, strange, whatever. But then when you see that truck in person, it's like, whoa, what the heck is this? So yeah, I think the Model Y is going to sell quite well. It's going to sell quite well. But I'm still waiting for the more affordable models to launch. As for Rivian, according to the CEO, Rivian plans to release hands-free advanced driver assistance system in 2025 and eyes-off system in 2026, which, to be honest, does not seem like they are going to partner up with Tesla. Because if they were partnering up with Tesla, then you would not need to go first hands-free advanced driver and then an eyes-off system. You would go directly with the eyes-off system. So that puts them off the list of potential first clients, I would say. Then looking at the say questions from most voted to, well, not. So the first one is unsupervised FSD still planned to be released in Texas and California this year? What hurdles still exist to make this happen? Okay. Are there any discussions with other auto companies about licensing FSD? You know very well what the answer for that will be. It will be a non-answer, as always. When will Tesla start selling Optimus and Price? They will probably repeat the same thing they said last quarter. Elon has said publicly that long-term shareholders of Tesla will have the ability to invest in his other companies. Could you provide some clarity color as to what that looks like? Brokerage firms use FIFO, first in, first out, so anyone who trades won't have the true length of time as investor. I am very curious to see if they're going to answer that question, because this is also something that we've talked about. I just don't know how it's going to make that work, right? For example, if you bought Tesla 10 years ago, but in the meantime, you probably sold a little bit of your shares, right? If it's first in, first out, which means the first shares that you bought will be the first share that gets sold, then it will look like you did not invest 10 years ago. So how is that system going to work? To be honest, the moment he said that, everybody was very excited. I was like, okay, I just don't see that happening. So it's a shame, but oh well, what can you do? Well, what they could have done is basically make sure that Tesla gets a stake in those companies. So especially XAI, since we basically paid for that. Then we've got, is Optimus now mostly designed lock for 2025 production? I expect some questions about Optimus, and I do expect some answers as well. Last two things here. Can you please tie purchase FSD to our owner account versus locked to the car? This will help us enjoy it in any Tesla we drive by and reward us for hanging in so long. I agree, I've been talking about this for a long time, especially for those that have bought it years and years ago on the promise that it's going to get solved pretty soon. And then the last one, is there a new affordable Tesla model coming soon? Well, I think so, right? Because they've been saying that for the last 2-3 quarters or so. So he's going to say this is not a product launch announcement, blah, blah, blah. But as we've said in the investor deck, new and affordable models will be expected to launch in the first half of 2025. So that is probably the answer that he's going to give. And so lastly, if we look at this stock right now, the stock did close just under the 20-day moving average, which sits at $410.9. Now, all that you can see here are the weekly candles and the reaction of, well, the stock after the earnings report, well, during that week. So if we go back all the way to October 2023, the red candle down 21.3%. January 2024 down close to 19%. Then looking at April 2024 up 25%. Moving on to July down 16.7%. And then the last quarter we went up 25.6%. Of course, we went up way more than that, but I'm just talking about that candle during the week of the earnings report. So two scenarios here. We can go down 20%, which means we're going to go closer to $320. The 200-day moving average sits at $285. But if we go up, we are going to close in at that $500 mark and probably going to be overbought. In short, expect some fireworks. That's all I've got to say. So that's about it for this weekly episode. Of course, the next one will be, well, an earnings review yet again. So if you enjoy this type of videos, leave it a thumbs up, subscribe if you have not, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.